I'm hiking up this ravine. It's going to drop below freezing tonight, that's for sure. Just a few days away from December. I'll be camping with no shelter here in the interior of British Columbia. It's just me and my dog Kiro. Following this ravine so that I don't get sidetracked. There's no real trail here. Everything I need to make a shelter is on my back. Okay, I like this spot. Whoop, my bag is so heavy. I not only have to carry stuff for myself, but also for Kiro. This spot needs a bit of work, but it might be perfect. I've always wanted to use a big rock as a heat source. I've only got about 5 hours until sunset, so I've got to get started on making sure, in case it rains tonight, we don't get wet. Step one is going to be clear out the area, and then I got to get a roof going. There you go. Kiro loves having a warm spot to lay down while I'm working. He gets a little anxious just when we stay in one spot. So this lets him know this is where we're staying. This is our spot for the night. You're safe. You don't have to protect us from the squirrels. Of course, it's Canada. There are grizzly bears, black bears, mountain lions, a lot of animals that could be dangerous, but they're all getting ready for hibernation. I'm going to pack up the food tonight and keep it away from camp. I've got bear spray, I've got protection. They're more scared of you than you are of them. It's about 11 a.m. and it's already feeling really dark. There's a high chance it could rain if the temperatures don't drop below 0. A lot of this wood is rotten, soaking wet, and it's not gonna light in a regular fire. So I have to find some big dry pieces of wood that are gonna last me through the night. If I can get a good fire going, the heat will reflect off of this rock and keep our shelter warm. Birch bark is going to help us light the fire. So I'm gonna save this. This is all really good fire starter. This cedar that's just growing along the forest floor actually prevents new growth from happening. It's grown sideways, so it can't get much bigger. No power tools today. I should probably just be able to move this. It's so rotten. Just need to get it angle. And I should be able to make a fire pit here. These two dead trees have fallen over this rock perfectly. It's wedged in here, so the ground is super cold. We need a layer of insulation. I do have a foam sleeping pad. I think we need to dig this out a little bit so it's flat. Just talking through my thought process right now. This is a lot more level ground, but the trees for the roof is on this side of the rock, and I need to have my fire here. I brought a mini pickaxe because I knew it was going to be hilly and I would want to level out some ground, especially where the fire is going. So this in the ground here is all, I believe it's called red rot. So if you light your fire directly on it, it can actually go underground and the embers can stay there throughout the winter. This is crazy. I learned this from a wildlife firefighter, Parker, and reignite once it gets dry and hot, so sometime next year. Oh, is it all red rot? Dig this up a little bit so it's safer to burn. And basically what it is the tree has decomposed here. There are tiny little snowflakes. Oh, that would be so cool if I'm up here for the first snow. Oh, perfect lighting material. I don't want to sweat because then I'll be wet and then I won't dry and I'll automatically be cold. Ugh, look at that. The rotten wood just comes right out of the center. It's too big to move as is, so I'm going to do another cut in the middle. Okay, don't spill. So we don't want to share with our neighbors. I have so much work to do, but I'm taking a snack break. Just straight eating cheese. Two, three, four. Okay. The length is about 4 saws. before I put too much of a roof on this, I think I'm gonna dig this out a little bit. I'm starting to think it would make more sense to have the fire on this side. It's just such a hill. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm seeing it now. The fire needs to go over here. You might not be able to see the vision now, but these dead trees can move. Ugh. I'm gonna put all the dead wood in this ditch. Wasted about an hour and a half clearing out the other side. So I gotta make up for lost time. More red rot. This whole forest floor is covered in red rot. Not my phone. Oh. See the core? It was rotten. Cedar trees always rot from the bottom, and then the rot slowly eats its way up the bark. Okay. All this wet soil on the top. Underneath this wet soil is actually pretty dry. Using larger logs would cover more space at once, but it would take up more energy. Hero's having a little nap over here and it's getting pretty cold, so I think I'm gonna put on his jacket. Do you want to put on your jacket? Come here. You're shaking a little bit. It's not that cold. I'm moving around a lot, so I am super warm, but he is... Oh my god, you're shaking, bud. I'm gonna go check the thermometer to see how cold it is. Okay, we'll put both on. Ooh, it's a little tight. I'll loosen that for you. Gain some weight. Tighten that up for you. Trap the heat in. It's about 2 degrees Celsius or 35 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got a layer of moss on the important part and also some boughs. Good firewood. But since the outside is wet, I do need to chop enough of it to get a really hot fire going, or else it's gonna be tricky keeping the fire. First half was for firewood, the thinner pieces, and this thick piece I'm gonna see if I can carry over there. Oh, come on. Uphill. I pulled my wool sweater apart. Pretty good. Oh. Ow, stick in my eye. So right now the fire, if I put logs on, they'll just kind of roll. So I want to carve this out a little bit. Ooh, a rock for the fire pit. That's a good one. I'm trying to level out the ground here so I can have a safe fire that's not on a hill. Oh, this rock is perfect. Leaving it right here as a barrier so the fire doesn't roll. Oh, there's a big rock here. That's a big one. Oh my gosh. Nice, another rock. Perfect. my head. Ow! Oh, that crushed my neck. I actually heard my neck crush. Okay. Hi! The sun is going down in 1 hour. So this is home tonight. It's the best we can do. I did bring a sleeping bag because this is the first time I'm testing this out. I know it's going to be like -8 tonight, and it's just not fair to put Kiro through that if this doesn't heat the shelter. So the idea is the fire is going to heat this rock, and then therefore we're going to stay warm because we're against the warm rock. Oh, he loves his sleeping bag. Okay, I'll get it for you. There you go. I found some loose pieces of bark, so I'm gonna just cover some of the last little holes. Whew. Whoa! Kira's got the night zoomies. I'm gonna use my knife to split up some of the wood for kindling. If it's really wet, I find it's so hard to use all of the sticks that are just laying around like little twigs. So I always chop the wood and then produce finer kindling from that. This is a step up from the knife I've been using. This is the Victorinox Venture, and Victorinox is the sponsor of today's video, which I also have their multi-tool. They are the originator of the Swiss Army knife, but the reason I love this knife so much is because it's full tang, which means it has Swiss stainless steel all the way to the end. The drop point blade and the handle is super ergonomic, and it gives you great control, and it just breaks so easily. And this is going to lay really well. So if you're doing this in the rain, the handle's still going to be grippy because it's got nice ridges. The sheath, which hangs on your belt, it doubles as a blow tube, so you can blow oxygen really directed on the fire. That hole in the bottom is also great, so if your knife is wet, water won't sit in the sheath and it will drain out. If you want to check out the Venture Victorinox knife, I will link it in my description. Thank you so much if you use my link, and huge shout out to Victorinox. I love them. I even have their kitchen knives, bread knife, steak knife. They're amazing. Okay, that's all. Back to making dinner. Now, I could probably just light this birch bark, but I always have cotton balls and Vaseline now because I'm just kind of in a hurry to make dinner before the sun goes down, which is any minute now. This wet bark is putting off so much smoke. I'm gonna put the rest of the wood with really wet bark around the edges so that it can dry. Okay, she's going now. I gotta boil water so I can cook dinner. Bad news, the smoke is blowing right into our fort, our shelter. There's like hardly any wind, but the little wind that is here. Dehydrated rice and beans. We're doing deconstructed sushi. I've got a piece of salmon here. We already had dinner. Rock is still cold. Plan not working yet. Smoke, a lot. This wood is just so wet. That's better. One of the keys with staying warm, your head loses a lot of heat. Always wear a hat. Same with your extremities because they're the farthest away from your heart. So bring a fresh pair of socks, because even if you didn't get your socks wet because your boots are waterproof, like they just get moist from sweat. For a pillow, I'm just using my dry bag. It's got my rain jacket in it. I'm not gonna need it tonight, I hope. Still hovering around freezing. However much wood you think you need more. The shelter took me about 5 hours to make, and the firewood. You kind of have to make something out of nothing, and I saw the V overhanging the rock, and it was a perfect lean-to skeleton. Okay, I've got dehydrated rice and beans, and I'm gonna pour it in the boiling hot water. That will rehydrate, and it's just a quicker way to cook rice as opposed to having to boil it. As soon as I'm done eating, I'm gonna put my bear bag far away from here. I've got my weapons close by. Ideally, what you do is get trees, like big, long, cut down trees with no branches on them, and have a fire lengthwise. Because this is a hill, it didn't really work like that, but the fire is still gonna keep us warm. You have to be careful with rocks though, because they hold moisture, especially like river rocks. And if you heat them up fast, they can explode and shatter. A rock this size could crack, but I don't have the fire that big to dry it that quickly, so I don't think there's an issue here. Even like the rocks that you make a fire pit with, those can heat up really quick if they're holding a lot of water. You want like a really dense rock. A good way to test it is hit it with another rock, and if it's crumbly or kind of like falling apart, you don't want to heat those up at a rapid pace. But it's actually warmer over here. When my back is that way, there's no protection. The wood surrounding the fire is starting to catch now. I'm so looking forward to December and having some snow. I just moved to the BC interior and it's a rainforest in here. I'm coming from more of a desert area where it has a lot less rain. So the rain was an adjustment, but November has the most rainfall in British Columbia out of every month of the year, and it's over. So super happy about that. Hero, do you want to share the sleeping bag? Oh my gosh, it warmed up 2 degrees. It's now 5 degrees Celsius, which is 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, it's ready. I forgot to press record. I did that whole sequence. Okay, so I put the salmon right in there, mushed it up. It doesn't look good, but it tastes amazing. Soy sauce packet and nori sheets. It's roasted seaweed, just ripped apart, and it's a salmon bowl. I eat this at home all the time, and Kiro loves the seaweed. That's rule number 1, no food in bed. The trick with the salmon, you can cook it in the air fryer before you come. I don't know if this is weird. Mayo, mustard, garlic powder. It makes the salmon taste so good with this pairing. I'm not hungry anymore. I'm not cold. We're not just surviving out here. Dare I say we're having fun. Oh my gosh, we're up to 6 degrees Celsius in here. That's like 42 degrees Fahrenheit. So it went up a solid 5 degrees. If I can, I'm going to keep the fire going all night because I don't care what anyone says. The forest at nighttime is creepy. But having a fire, it deters animals. And I can also just see better. I was distracting myself with dinner, but it doesn't matter how many times I camp out here by myself, in a forest, outside, anywhere. It's just creepy at nighttime. Daytime, you can see all directions. I love it. I love it so much. Nighttime, it's a little creepy. The only change of clothes I bring is a different pair of pants and a different pair of socks. Can you see that? That is snow. It's the first snow of the season. Oh my god, I couldn't see it in the shelter because, I don't know, the fire, the light. Oh my gosh. Well, it's barely snowing, but... Kiro's in the wool blanket with his fleece jacket and then his winter puffy jacket. He's eating dirt. Okay. Whatever keeps you warm at night. He's fully wrapped in the wool blanket, and wool is a material that can get wet and still keep you warm. I mean, it's not wet, but if the ground gets moist overnight from frost. And I'll be up throughout the night stoking the fire and making sure he stays under the blanket. If I feel the rock, it's actually not cold. It's a like if it were a 15-degree day, whatever temperature you think a rock would be, it's about that temperature. Anything that could freeze overnight, you want to keep in your sleeping bag. Bear spray is one of those things you don't want to freeze. I don't really want to cuddle it though, but I'm going to keep that close. Okay, you ready for bed? Oh, you sheep. I hear squirrels. I've been trying to muster up the courage to get out of my sleeping bag. Are you okay? Oh, he hears squirrels. Okay. Are you telling me you want me to put on the fire? I kept a rain cover on my bag all night, but this is the driest corner of the whole. My sleeping pants are way warmer than my trekking pants. I didn't do the best job hanging this very high. Should have been way higher, but it's on there really tight. This bag is so that like rodents can't get in there. It's supposed to be bear proof too, but it's starting to snow again. I know you're hungry. Or do you smell? Get out of here. Bacon! I saved some for the morning. The water's finally boiling, so it's coffee time. Oh, that's hot on my fingers. No, I knew that was gonna happen. Now I'm gonna put the bacon directly in there. I need more of a flat spot here. There we go. Look at that, I like it crispy. And then I'm also gonna crack an egg. Hey, what the heck? Is there a chicken in here? What? Just kidding, I hard-boiled eggs. Well, I hard-boiled one egg and brought it. There we go. Eggs and bacon. We left base camp because I'm trying to find a particular piece of wood. I want to try and make a bow and arrow. So the piece of wood needs to be about an inch to an inch and a half maybe. Cedars are too bendy. This is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, so I thought this was an arbutus tree. There's a few of them around here, but those are mostly on the coast. We're in the interior of British Columbia, so I've been told this is a yew tree, like Y-E-W. It looks exactly like it because the bark sheds and is this pretty red color. It's fallen, it's been squashed by another tree. Make a bushcraft bow and arrow in a day. It's gonna be green, it's gonna be wet, and those are not good for bow making. Ideally, you want to dry it for at least a month, depending on the thickness. But in a survival situation, this branch is way too curvy. Okay, we've got some work to do. It's not rotten. Ready to go, Kiro? This is gonna be the belly, and this is gonna be the back. I don't want to take anything off the back, so I chose the side with no branches. There we go. Oh, this knife takes the bark off so well. There's zero bend. This is some hardwood. Oh, it's got kind of a bend to it now. It's bending. It's bending. At this point, it's just a good walking stick. It's bending. I don't think it's gonna stay bent. The sun is starting to set. I gotta finish this bow because I was not planning on camping another night here, but I've gotten so distracted carving my bow. I want to carve a part that can hold the string tips. Hello. Okay. Okay. It's not perfect. It's tight though. Do you hear that? Oh, this is so exciting. I do not have an arrow. Woo! This was just for fun, but it really was practice. I want to make a long-term one. I'm gonna dry a piece of wood and actually make a proper one. No, you can't have this. This took me too long. I'm shocked how tight I got this string. I'm just using sticks, but I want to order some arrows. This was just a practice bow. Obviously paracord is not ideal. Now I know I definitely want to start drawing a piece of wood and really honing in this skill. Okay, that's all for this episode. Kira and I have to hike out of here because the sun is setting. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go.